What's going on YouTube? It's Tyler from Mission VR, where it's my mission to bring you guys good quality VR content. So today we're going to be doing a full review of The Wizard's Dark Times. Is it going to be worth your money? Are you going to get a good return on investment on it? So if you guys like this type of content, please drop a like on this video and subscribe to my channel, as I'm going to be bringing you guys a ton of game reviews and a ton of other VR related content in the future, and I really enjoy doing this for y'all. So drop a like and hit that subscribe button. Let's hop on into this review. Alright guys, so what are you actually going to be purchasing in this game, and is it going to be worth the money that you're spending on it? And unfortunately here, when it comes to the content level, I was disappointed. I feel that The Wizard's Dark Times has some really great game mechanics and really great level design, but there's just some things that really hold it back. And for example, the level of content that's actually in the game. There's really only one thing to do, and that is a campaign that takes about 4 hours to beat. And once you beat that campaign, you're pretty much done with the game, and there's really not much else to do. And that's a shame, because the game's design when it comes to the spellcasting and the gesture-based systems and some of the level design is actually fantastic here, as there was a couple of really great surprises that, you know, I couldn't believe that they actually put that into a level, and it was really exciting and a lot of fun to partake in that. But again, it just wasn't enough of it, and it is one of those games that once you beat it, you're probably done with it forever, and that's a shame because there's only about 4 hours worth of content there. I really would have liked to see several other campaign levels, and maybe the final boss be the first boss in a series of 3, something along the lines of that, to at least get 10 to 12 hours of content out of this game, and that's definitely where this game missed the mark. I was also relatively disappointed with the level of enemies you're fighting, because you really only fight 3 different types of enemies the whole entire game, and that for me was definitely disappointing, because there was definitely opportunities to incorporate some larger boss fights or unique enemies into the game, and they didn't, and you fight the same undead ghoul pretty much the whole time, and some goblins, and occasionally you'll fight a witch acolyte of the type. But ultimately, they definitely missed the mark when it came to the enemy design and the level of content in the game. However, the magic casting in this game is a lot of fun, and the level of intricacy when it comes to mixing your spells and performing cool and unique moves is definitely there, and it just again highlights the fact that it's a shame they didn't add more content to this game and more enemies to fight. Now, the level design is fantastic, and there are some really beautiful moments in the game. There were some times that I really felt like I was playing Dark Souls in VR with just the environments that you're in. It really does give you that Dark Souls aesthetic. And there were some other moments where it felt a little bit more like Skyrim. It's somewhere really honestly in the middle when it comes to the graphical and level overhaul of the design. Now, this isn't a bad thing, but I also felt that the music at times was just a little bit repetitive, especially in the beginning. The music for the fight scenes was just the kind of the same, and I just didn't really like it. Now later in the game it does change in a couple levels, so that was refreshing here, because I thought it was going to be the same battle music the whole time. But overall that did change, and the later ones aren't as bad, but early on you're going to notice it because it's the same sound over and over again, and that was just a small little thing I also noticed. Next up, we've got graphics and sound.
Oh, are we there yet? These heights are making me a touch queasy just watching you.
So the sound design in this game is honestly, it works. It's fine, there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing glaringly amazing about it, but it feels good. The spells feel good to cast, they sound nice whenever you cast them, and I actually particularly enjoyed the arcane spell you get late in the game whenever you can combine it and you create these shards of fire. It definitely had a pretty cool sound to it, but overall the sound design really does work. I did have one complaint, and I already mentioned about the music early on in the game, but that does change later on, and honestly, the change was big enough that I didn't really feel that it was a hindrance to the game. Now, if they would have kept that same song for the whole game, I definitely would have had a much bigger problem because it was definitely distracting, and I honestly just didn't like it, and it didn't highlight a good action scene for me. But again, this does change, and the music they use later in the game is a lot better. Now, the ambient sounds of the environments you're in are great, and they really do sink you into feeling like you're actually there in that environment. So I really enjoyed this, and I thought that they did an amazing job with the ambient environmental sounds that are around you. Now, when it comes to graphics, this is where the Wizards Dark Times really hits the mark. Graphics in this game are amazing, and the environments are just absolutely beautifully crafted, and there's just some moments that really have you awestruck at what you're looking at. And the spells themselves look great to cast. Everything from the fireball flaming in your hand to the lightning you shoot out of your palms is amazingly done, and it makes you feel powerful. But I thought that the graphics did an amazing job here of making you feel like you were actually in an environment. And like I said, the shame of it is I just wanted more. I wanted to see more of the game. I wanted to see more of this world that they've crafted around it. And then I just didn't get the chance to do that. And that's just really where the Wizards Dark Times falls short, because the graphics are amazing, and the subtle intricacies from every single spell you're casting to the portals to the enemies you're fighting is just really an amazing experience here. And if it was a graphics only experience, I would absolutely recommend, but unfortunately there's just so much more to it. When it comes to immersion and gameplay, you absolutely are going to have fun playing this game. It is an enjoyable experience, and I really can't complain about anything other than the level of content in the game. The immersion factor, you're definitely going to be immersed playing it. Some of the environments are actually going to take you aback, and you're going to have to pause the game, well, not really pause it, but stand in one place and just look around at the environment you're in, because it really is beautiful. And there really is no screen door effect that's super noticeable in this game, and I really like that. I didn't have super glare or anything, fuzzing in the distance. They have a nice little haze covering that, which kind of eliminates that factor, and they just did an amazing job. And some of the vertical environments you're in this game really make you feel like you're a small player in this world, and I really enjoyed that. And it's just a shame that we didn't get to see more of this in the game, and that's really where it's at. I really didn't notice any major bugs in this game, other than a couple places you do get stuck on the environment or the wall or whatever you're climbing on, and you can easily get out of that by just using the teleport feature that they've added, which is definitely nice because it does prevent you from getting stuck. And there was just 2 locations that the level slowly rendered and I was able to see under the map, but nothing game breaking and nothing worth shooting this game down entirely for. So when it comes to my verdict on this game, I really enjoyed my experience, but honestly, I have to say this is a wait for a sale type of game, because it just isn't enough going for $24.99 to be able to justify that purchase. Now, if you really are into action, adventure, fantasy games, and you just have to play it, then you're going to enjoy your experience, don't get me wrong, but for $24.99, there just isn't enough to do in the game, and I definitely think it's a wait for sale type of situation. Well guys, that's it for this video. Please drop a like and hit that subscribe button. I'm really excited to keep bringing you guys good content, and I hope you liked it. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you next time.